Inside EKU Sports. Brought to you by Jimmy John's. Order Jimmy John's sandwich delivery today. Jimmy John's, freaky fast, freaky fresh. And welcome to Inside EKU Sports. To say it's been a super last few days would be an understatement for EKU football. Guy who wore number 82 here, wore it for the Patriots. He has a Super Bowl ring now and a great signing class for 2017. Mark Elder with us. I know you're really happy with your class.
Absolutely. Very, very excited about the guys that we have coming in. I think that they will add to the talent level in the program and certainly add to the culture as well. We addressed some things that we wanted to make sure that we addressed. We signed a number of guys on the offensive and defensive fronts. That's really where the game is played and won. You win championships up front. And so we wanted to address having physical guys that have size and length, but also have the athletic ability to be able to move their feet and so forth on both sides of the ball there. That's certainly going to help us quite a bit.
They always say, and I've heard it said, it's going to take 2 or 3 years before you know whether a signing class is good. Do you expect, for lack of a better term, immediate results from some of the players you signed, or will it take a couple of years because they're young and they have to fit into a program?
A little bit of both. We're still in a situation where we're going to be counting on some freshmen to come play for us. We're not deep enough across the board where we can say, hey, we're going to be able to redshirt every kid unless there's somebody that just blows us away. We're still in a situation where we're going to have several guys that are going to contribute and help and play quite a bit for us this coming up fall. And I think we've got a number of guys that have the talent, and we'll see when they get in their adjustment to the speed of the game and the complexity of the game if they're able to continue that upward trend. But we're going to have some guys that will redshirt and some guys that are going to have to play right away for us.
You had signees from 10 different states, but Kentucky was your leading state, and so you did well in state.
Absolutely. I said it 2 years ago when I got here, or a year and a half ago when I got here, that we're going to start our recruiting process in the state of Kentucky. And we're going to recruit this state as hard as we possibly can. We're going to sign as many kids from the state of Kentucky as can help us win a championship. And that just happened to be a large number this year. Some years it might be a smaller number. Some years it'll be a larger number like this year. But that's certainly what we're doing is we're starting in state. There's a lot of very good football in the state of Kentucky, and we're going to take as many of those guys as we possibly can. And we're excited about some of those guys. And some of those guys were hard-fought battles that we had to fight off some schools at upper levels to keep. But we're very, very excited about the group and think a couple of those guys are going to be big-time players for us this fall.
You have said all along that you believe in the process and we're building something, and with the football facility being improved with this signing class, I see bricks and mortar as far as the building of this program.
Absolutely. We've got some major changes going on facility-wise. From the visitor side to the stadium, the $10 million project that's going to have a brand new locker room, a brand new players' lounge in there. Our weight room is going to be phenomenal. It's 12,000 square feet. That's going to be done here in like 2 weeks on February 20th. We have the second largest nutrition station in the country, so that's going to be tremendous. We're only following Wisconsin as far as the largest in the country. So some of those things are phenomenal. We also added a brand new team room. That should be done here at the end of February as well. So some of those things are great. We also spiced up the facility that we have. We put up 6 65-inch TVs, a bunch of graphics, national championship banners, displayed some of the proud tradition that we have here. And that's important on a couple different fronts. The facilities are important, and displaying the tremendous tradition that we have here is important for recruiting. Kids come in, they see those things, they want to be at a school that has really nice things, not just a great tradition, but has a great weight room and all these great facilities that they're going to get to live in. But it's also important for our players, our current players, to come in beyond just the weight room, obviously that's huge, but to come in and have a facility that displays the tradition, that displays what's been accomplished here. They take pride in that, and they understand that there's an expectation level that they must live up to when they walk by those things day in and day out.
Yeah, and it can't hurt recruiting when you can say, This guy played at EKU. His name's Matt Lengel, and he's just won a Super Bowl with the New England Patriots. We have a few photos from the big game and the celebration. As we told you last week, Matt is also going to get another ring later this year. He's going to marry his fiancée Lauren in June, and she was on hand to celebrate the win with him in Houston. Lengel becomes the third Colonel alum to win a Super Bowl, and congratulations to Matt. It's a Cinderella story, and it's really a story of perseverance, and really embodies what being a colonel is all about.
Absolutely. Very, very proud of him and excited for him. I wasn't here during his time, but I know his story, and he had numerous injuries that set him back, got his 6th year of eligibility, and really has taken advantage of that and overcome many obstacles. I mean, it's not easy to have your 4th and 5th year you have a major injury that costs you the season, and had the perseverance to keep plugging and keep working. And then a year ago, when he was kind of in and out, he had the perseverance to keep plugging and get signed by New England this year, ends up winning a Super Bowl, the 3rd Colonel all time to win a Super Bowl, 6 to play in one. So he really embodies everything that we're about.
All right, Mark, it was exciting being part of signing day. I know you're pumped, and I guess it's winter workouts now, and then spring ball starts not too long.
The first Monday in March is when we're starting, and then the spring game will be April 15th.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Appreciate
it. That's Mark Elder, and that's our look at football. We'll turn to basketball when we come back as Inside EKU Sports continues.
And Marv, our blood sugar is dropping. Go, make us a plate.
31. 31.
We'll literally die of hunger.
Would you slide in, please, Carl?
Freaky fast.
1.
Bingo! No.
Carl.
Jimmy John's.
If you were to look at the campus of Eastern Kentucky University today, a lot of that foundation was put in place during the presidency of Robert R. Martin when he arrived here in 1960 and through his tenure in 1976 with the tremendous boom in the student population and the need for infrastructure, particularly athletic facilities. Our baseball facility was built then, our football stadium, which at the time was the largest classroom building, I think in the state of Kentucky, certainly on our campus, that just happened to double as a football facility. There were pressing needs in terms of space. They had to build things quickly and as efficiently as possible. And what's happened is those structures now are nearing 50 and 60-year lifespans, and they need to be replaced. And that's kind of our goal right now, is to refresh our facilities and to make sure we're up to par with our peers and also with our aspirational peers. You know, where do we want to be in the next little while, and how do our facilities compare to other schools? I would argue the biggest reason for us to make improvements to our facilities is, number one, to improve the experience of our student athletes.
They come here to provide entertainment for our fans, our donors, our student body, and so when we look at the student athlete coming into Eastern Kentucky University, we want to make sure that experience is a positive experience.
Do they have the best facilities for their purposes to compete well, to win championships? That's first and foremost. Number two is the experience of our fans. Do they enjoy coming to our facilities, whether it's the football stadium or softball or baseball? Do we have all the kind of accoutrements to accommodate them? Are they ADA accessible? Do we have restroom facilities? Do we have concessions? Are they comfortable in terms of the in-seat experience, in-game experience? And then number three, can they be used for the community writ large?
Our facilities need to be multi-focused and multi-use facilities, so that not only does the university and its students and student athletes get the benefit of it, but also so that the citizens, our donors, our fans, our alumni, anything that we might have that can be of a benefit to them to be able to use one of our facilities, we're bringing people back on campus, which I feel very strongly about.
Bringing more people to Richmond, potential students, high school students, that once they have a great experience at EKU and see the campus beautiful, they'll want to come back as a student and return often. I don't ever want us to think at the university of ourselves as silos. We're kind of all in this together, and as a department, as a college, as a discipline, as an area, as a sport, as athletics do well, we all do well.
And so the one thing that I would stress to our fans, our donors, our alumni, is that we need your help. If you want to see this program grow, and if you want to see the experience that these student athletes have get better, we need your support, and we need it now.
Every day is a concept that few people can commit to. Every day requires a level of dedication that forces you to test your limits.
Every day I'll give back to the community because I draw strength from their support. Every day the sounds of your cheers will echo through my mind. Knowing that you have my back means I can always look forward.
Every day I'll be too tired to sweat and my bones will ache. Every day will provide me with the slight edge that I need to succeed. Champions are built every day.
It'll be rivalry night at Alumni Coliseum on Saturday when Morehead State plays both the women's and men's team. Dan McHale joins us. Your team tips at 7 against the Eagles. And Asante Gist this week for the 6th time named OVC Freshman of the Week. I like the way Asante's really been playing basketball.
Yeah, I'm really proud of him. Obviously, the individual accolades are great. If you'd ask him, he'd trade them in for wins any day of the week. But he's getting better. I thought the Austin Peay game, it was such a tough ending, but I thought he played his most complete game and really showed how he can lead this team down the stretch. So, the wins aren't coming right now. Like I told you on the broadcast after the game the other night, I want to win just as bad as anyone right now, but I got to understand that we have to go through a process, and these guys have to experience tough losses for us to see, what it's going to be like when we do start winning a lot of games.
The breaks have been crazy that they've gone against you, and you get a rebound at the end of the ballgame in regulation, you're going to beat Austin Peay. Ironically, DeAndre Dishman's got the rebound. He comes down on Zach Charles' foot, and now he loses the ball. He's injured. Not only do you lose that game in the end, but he's out indefinitely.
Yeah, he comes down. He did what we taught him. He went up with two hands, got a two-hand traffic rebound. He comes down clean, ball game's over. And unfortunately, not only lose the game, but then we lose him for what could be a significant point in time. And he came off his best game. He had 14 points. He was flying all over the place. He was showing how good of a player he's going to be. So he'll fight. He'll fight back just like this team, and he'll be back better than ever.
Morehead State, you've already played them in January. They had 2 big runs on you. And the one thing when you break down the stats is they scored well inside the 3-point line. What do you have to change to come out with a win on Saturday night against the Eagles?
Yeah, they're playing as well as anyone in the league right now. Give them a lot of credit. They're really hot, and they're old. They're Xavier Moon and Marrero. They're 2 seniors that understand how to win. They're tough, but we've got to stop with the live ball turnovers. We've got to stop giving teams opportunities to go the other way. It's their 4 or 5 point swings, and that's what's happening over the course of the past couple of games. So they're good. We understand what makes them good, and we're going to work every day to get them, where we need to be to beat them.
The other thing is shooting the ball, and we've seen some improvement in Dylan Abar of late. He's really beginning to find his stroke, and that's what he does well.
Yeah, he did. For him to bounce back after the Austin Peay game and make 7 threes is not an easy task to do, because a lot of it's mental, and he knew he struggled versus Austin Peay. And I told him, I said, great shooters have amnesia, and that's what he did, and he came back and gave us a spark, and we hit 15 threes and still lost the game, and that's kind of been our bugaboo all year. So I'm seeing some improvements in some areas that we needed, and this team's going to work hard every single day and continue to fight and continue to get wins.
Should be a fun night, Saturday night. Always win. All right.
Absolutely.
Dan, good luck against the Eagles.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Don't forget, it is a women's-men's doubleheader. The men tip at 7, the women before at 4:30, and we'll have all the action for you. And when we come back, we'll check in on the women's program with Chrissy Roberts here on Inside EKU Sports.
Grandkids? No! Do you want me to help you clean up? No, I don't need you to do nothing for me. Get out.
I hope Mom's not asleep. It's awfully late for dinner.
Freaky fast.
Thank you, sweetie. Who wants a cookie?
Jimmy John's.
10 seconds to go. Harper coming forward. Moves in, top of the key. 6 seconds to go. The three.
Welcome back. We've heard already from Dan McHale, the men's coach. Now Chrissy Roberts, the women's coach, as Morehead State is the rivalry game on Saturday. And Coach, it's kind of like Jenga in the OVC women's side. You're in 6th and 7th with Murray State as all the games are played this week. And you got to win to protect that 8th spot and get in the OVC tournament. So it's down to crunch time.
It is down to crunch time. And the goal is to get into the tournament and have the opportunity to go to play in the NCAA tournament. But we have a ton of work to do. But it's a game at a time, and hopefully, we'll get back at it tomorrow, and hopefully our kids will come into practice ready to get better.
Morehead State beat you soundly in Morehead, and it was a big run in the midsection of the game. I know when you look back, that was not a game you felt like your team played well in.
No, we got rocked. They just ran out on us in transition, and they took a lot out of us pretty quick, and players just struggled to respond. We'll watch that game again, and hopefully, Saturday, we can shut down some of that transition. And then the other thing, too, is we're struggling scoring, so we got to figure out a way to put the ball in the basket.
You had 2 narrow losses on the road, by 10 at Martin and by 6 at Murray, as you went very cold at the end of the game, hit only one of your last 10 shots. But I saw some good flashes of defense through both of those games, and I saw the promise. Now it's just it's putting 40 minutes together, right? I mean, is that the consistency the main theme here?
It is. Our defense has changed, and it's getting better every day. I mean, yeah, you look at Murray and I think Martin scoring 70 points, but, fouling down the stretch, spotting them 6 at the end. When you're holding teams to 65, 66 points, pretty good defensively, but when you're leaving 20, 30, 40 plus points in the paint, you can't win games like that. The other thing too is we got to make free throws. I think as a team we're below 70%, and that's not a good percentage. So we're gonna have to get in the gym quite a bit before we play on Saturday.
All right, well, it's the rivalry game, the team closest to you, so time to take on the Eagles, right?
Most definitely.
All right, good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
That's Chrissy Roberts, and don't forget the women's game begins at 4:30, the men's game to follow at 7. We hope to see you out at Alumni Coliseum. If you can't be there in person, tune in to the OVC Digital Network. You can catch our play-by-play of the men's game on 100.7 WCYO, the call of the women's game at 1340 AM, WEKY, and of course all of it on EKUsports.com if you want to catch the audio anywhere, whether you're right here in Richmond or outside the country. And we remind you to keep up with the Curdles all season long at EKUsports.com, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Well, that's it for this week in Inside EKU Sports. Next week, we even talk baseball. See you then. Inside EKU Sports, brought to you by Jimmy John's. Order Jimmy John's sandwich delivery today. Jimmy John's, freaky fast, freaky fresh.